Hello all, this is your English teacher Mrs. Shanti of KV Ashoknagar. Today we are going to read a new story from class 10 English reader Footprints Without Feet. The title of the story is A Question of Trust, written by Victor Canning. Victor Canning was a prolific British writer of novels and thrillers who flourished in 1950s, 60s and 70s. He was personally reticent, writing no memoirs and giving relatively few newspaper interviews. This story is about a thief who gets a taste of his own deeds. Horace Danby is a thief. He steals only once a year. He is fond of books and spends most of his money on buying books. Let me ask you one question. Have you heard of the proverb, as you sow, so shall you reap? What does it mean? Discussion will help you to understand the story better. The characters in the story are Horace Danby, a businessman and thief, and a young lady. I hope you would have read the detailed story from the textbook. Now let us proceed to the main points of the story. Horace Danby was 50 years old and unmarried. He was usually very well, except for attacks of hay fever in summer. He made locks and was successful in his business. He robbed a safe every year. With that money, he bought rare and costly books. Danby always made a lot of preparations before committing a theft. He made detailed preparation before committing his latest theft in a house at Shotover Grange. He studied the house, rooms, electric wiring, paths, and gardens carefully. He noted that the two servants were out to movies and saw the housekeeper hang the key to the kitchen door. He was caught red-handed when a young lady in red appeared on the scene. The lady in red played the role of the lady of the house in a very confident and convincing way, acted with so much ease, confidence and authority that Horace mistook her as the lady of the house. The lady threatened to call the police if he tried to run away from there. The lady in red allowed Horace to go out on one condition. She made Horace open the safe. Horace thought he was opening the safe for the owner and forgot to wear his gloves. Horace handed over all the jewels to her and went away happily. After 2 days, Horace was arrested by the police for committing a theft in a house at Shotover Grange on the basis of fingerprints found on the safe. Horace pleaded that the wife of the owner of the house had asked him to open the safe for a house. The real lady of the house, a grey-haired 60-year-old woman, stated that the story of Horace was nonsense. Only in the end it became clear that the real culprit was the lady in red, who was a thief and bugler like Horace. Moving on to the theme of the story, it is about a thief who gets a taste of his own medicine. Horace Danby can be termed as a thief with a difference. He steals only once a year. He is fond of books and spends most of his booty on buying books. He plans meticulously before attempting a burglary. During his burglary attempt at a big house, he gathers all the necessary information and enters the house for stealing from the safe. He is cheated by a lady thief who claims herself to be the owner of the house. Finally, Horace ends up in a prison only to repent at the way he was deceived by a person from his own profession. The question of trust is a lesson which talks an irony about honor among thieves. It talks about the way Horace Danby gets betrayed by the lady in red. She was a clever young lady who was in the same profession as he was. This chapter says that you should not trust anyone without finding out about that person. The lady in the house pretended to be the owner and Horace trusted her words. She was a thief too, but Horace did not suspect her and her. The title is very much appropriate for this chapter. A few useful quotes have been compiled here for solving value-based questions, followed by a few questions that had appeared in previous question papers And finally, you may also refer to the Diksha app for an elaborate question answer, MCQs, and high order thinking questions. Thank you, children.